Hey Sherry,
Hey Frankie.
I'm going to ask you 35 questions.
Okay, shoot.
What got you into cars?
I've always liked cars since I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult, I can afford one.
Have you ever raced before?
Not professionally. I go out to the racetrack by SoCal Buttonwillow all the time with my homies, but I've never actually competed in a race before.
According to your socials, you like to eat out a lot. What is your comfort food?
I do like to eat out a lot. I'd say my comfort food is fried chicken.
You also like to cook a lot. What is, in your opinion, your best dish?
My best dish is probably my beef stew noodles. I started cooking it during COVID, and I'm pretty sure I perfected the recipe.
Americano or latte?
I'd have to say the latte, because I do like a milky, sugary, sweet drink.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
In 3 words, I'd say I'm motivated, empathetic, and definitely hard-headed.
Which 3 adjectives would your best friends use to describe you?
What will my best friends say about me? Let me give one of them a call.
Hello?
Hey, Justin.
Hi, Sherry. How are you doing?
I'm good. I have
Hi,
a...
Sherry.
Oh, hi.
Here.
Is that Noelle and Jackie?
Yeah.
All right, I have a random ass question for you.
Hi. What's your random question?
Describe me in 3 words.
3 words to describe you. Let's go with hardworking, motivated, and charitable. I feel like you're a charitable person.
Okay, I agree with that. That's crazy. That's literally 2 of the 3 adjectives I use to describe myself. That's wild. But anyways, I know you're on a boat right now, so go have fun.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
Justin. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
That's actually wild. That was not scripted, by the way.
I agree. What is your superpower?
My superpower would be teleportation. Not obviously, I don't actually teleport, but I can sleep anywhere at any time. So when I get on a plane, before the plane even takes off, I am knocked out. When I wake up, I am at the destination. So in my mind, I've teleported.
Heels or sneakers?
I like both, but I'd say I'm more of a chanclas with socks person.
One song that instantly puts you in a great mood.
One song. I have so many songs. I would definitely say Tamia, So Into You. That's got to be the ones up there for me.
What's one item you own that fans would never expect?
I guess one item I own that surprises a lot of people all the time is, I think people know that I have a Civic Type R, but when they actually see my Civic Type R, they're like, wait, this isn't just a Civic Type R. It's completely gutted. I mean, technically I have 2 racing seats in there. I still have my radio, but back seat's gone, my fuel system's in the back, my battery's in the back, so definitely unexpected for a lot of people.
Off camera, who are you that fans never get to see?
Off camera, I'd say I'm pretty much the same person on and off camera, just with probably a lot more curse words off camera.
What does a normal day look like when you're not grinding?
A normal day for me, when I'm not grinding, would be in bed for hours just watching TV shows. I love me some TV drama and reality shows.
What does a perfect off day look like for you?
Perfect off day would be my normal day when I'm not grinding. Perfect day is literally me not having to do anything and I can just lay in bed, bed rot, and watch a whole bunch of TV.
How would you describe your personal style?
Personal style. I'd say I'm kind of out there. I go casual a lot. I'm always in hoodies and sweats, but you can also see me in heels and a dress and streetwear. So I'm kind of all over the place.
Has your sense of style changed as your career grew?
Yeah, no, don't know. I think I've always been like this as a kid. I just didn't really have access to buying kind of the wardrobe that I wanted. So I think as I grew up, I was always in like the white t-shirt and the jeans. And then I still had the whole streetwear going on. I had my Air Force Ones back in high school and middle school. And now I'm still wearing sweats and the hoodies and the Nikes, whatever it might be. But now I get to, I'd say it's a little bit more refined now.
Who or what in your life keeps you grounded when everything gets loud?
Man, when everything gets loud, which is a lot, I think definitely, obviously, who would be my friends. My friends are always there for me when things are going on. And what do? I think the biggest thing that grounds me is when I go back home, back in Philly where I was raised, and I catch up with my childhood friends and visit all the places I used to go to as a kid. It kind of reminds me how much I've grown since I lived in Philly. And it just reminds me that I am resilient and I will be able to get through whatever it is I'm going through.
How did your love for fighting games begin?
Pretty randomly, my love for fighting games started in Arcade Infinity. I went there to play Initial D, because again, part of the motorsports world, all my friends played Initial D. And then there was a Street Fighter 4 ramp at the same time. I'm not going to go too deep into the details, but there was a car person named Dan Tam, known as Shiggle BMX in the FGC, and he was there for Street Fighter 4. And he showed me the world of fighting games in the FGC.
Did you always play video games growing up?
Definitely not. I played a little bit of video games, which I call like my favorite. I think this might surprise people, but I've definitely played less than 10 video games in my life. I played Final Fantasy X, 10 Part 2, Fatal Frame 2, all iconic games, right? But I didn't really play any other games outside of that. Actually, I was a god in Gunbound. But yeah, Street Fighter 4 was really like the most serious video game that I got into.
What aspects of the FGC do you appreciate the most?
There's so much about the FGC. It's really, really unique. But I think the coolest thing about the FGC is how embracing and diverse it is. I can go anywhere in the world and I don't even have to speak the language, but the locals will show up and play Street Fighter for me. So even though I can't communicate with people one-on-one, the community still comes out and shows love, and I'm still able to participate in an activity with them, although I can't understand a lick of what they're saying.
Favorite all-time fighting game?
I think this answer is pretty obvious to me, but it's Street Fighter 4, of course. That's where it all started.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but what's your favorite all-time character?
The baddest bitch, Crimson Viper. Don't get it twisted.
Perfect win or clutch comeback?
It has to be a clutch comeback, because I feel like if you perfect someone, it makes them look like a complete scrub, and obviously you dominate them. But I feel like when you see a clutch comeback, it's like all the little mistakes, the intensity, the adrenaline that got you to the point of making a clutch comeback makes you look so much better than the other person.
Name 3 people in the FGC you look up to.
3 people in the FGC. For sure, the person I just called, Justin Wong. He's been one of my closest friends, one of my homies since I started playing competitively around 2009. Well, actually, I met Justin around 2010 officially. So because he's been so supportive, and obviously I think everyone knows Justin and all his accomplishments, I definitely look up to him and everything he's done for himself in his career. Kiani's number 2 for me. I first met her, she's from France. I first met her sometime, I think 2011 in person, and I didn't even know much about her. We both competed in Ladies of Evo. She won the whole thing, and that's when I met, I understood her background, her career. She's been winning tournaments since she was in her early teens, and look at where she's grown now. She's contributed so much to the French community, and that's something I really, really admire. And for the third, I'd say this is pretty random, and this kind of doesn't count because it's 2 people, but the Cannon brothers. I know they're 2 people, but I'll group them together because they've accomplished so much together. I mean, just think about their journey from being players in the scene. You loved Street Fighter so much, you loved fighting games so much that you decided to host your own event. They were kind of the pioneers of TOing. I mean, obviously they aren't the only ones. Shout out to all the other TOs out there, but they went from TOing their own tournaments, creating what we call Evo now, back in the day, and Evo has grown to what it is now, and they didn't even stop there. They're like, hey, I'm going to create our own fighting game. We're gonna join Riot Games, and then they created this whole economy around 2XKO, and I think that's just so, that's that's like dreams coming true, right? So really, really inspirational.
What keeps you coming back to fighting games?
Fighting games are so unique and special, specifically the community. The game, obviously, all the games, fighting games are really, really special because it's a 1v1, it's really, really competitive, which I loved, and that's what first drew me in. But the community is definitely what made me stay because I promise and guarantee you there's no other community like ours.
What inspired you to start eFight Pass?
eFight Pass, I mean, I started traveling around the world competing. I was meeting people like everywhere, from Mexico, from Dominican Republic, from Costa Rica and whatnot. And when I talk to these players and talk about their talents and their passion for the games, I'm like, why aren't you showcasing it in US where majority of the tournaments are? And they told me that visas have always been an issue for them. And I'm like, why don't I just help you guys then? And that's kind of how eFight Pass all started.
What part of your personality leaks into your playstyle, whether you want to or not?
Well, I did mention earlier that I am hard-headed, so for sure you can see that in my gameplay. I think if, in my mind, for example, if I wanted to super, like on reaction to something, I am tunnel visioned on that, and I'm like, I am 100% going to hit you with this super.
Why are you loyal to sticks? Have you ever think about moving to pad or leverless?
I mean, I've considered moving over to leverless, never pad, because when I first started playing Street Fighter 4, I had a PS3 at home, so I was trying to play on a PS3 pad, and there's no way I was doing bird kicks on a pad. So I was raised in the arcade. I've always grown up on the sticks. I mean, starting at 18, right? So I just don't see the need to move over to leverless. I know there's a lot of competitive advantage there, but being able to do bird kicks, quarter circle motions on stick, I mean, that's just what I live for. I don't want to do it on leverless.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
I have. Not recommended.
Any facts Wikipedia got wrong?
Well, I don't have a Wikipedia page on me yet. I have an IMDb. There's a Liquipedia page on me. And Liquipedia page is pretty accurate, so shout outs to Incross. They cover my competitive results, but also my broadcast results, like which events I've commentated, which is really cool.
Unpopular opinion that you stand by?
Unpopular opinion. I don't know if the opinion has changed now, but I'd say for the past decade or so, fighting games are always seen as like the ratchet, the hood, and not so great community out of all the huge esports that exist out there. I think we have the most special and unique community that needs to be highlighted, and there's been so many people that have done a great job of doing so, and 10 years later I think we're moving down the right path. But again, I think we're grassroots. I think that's the right wording for it, but definitely the most special in a positive way.
If Varmilo Kasai were a person, what kind of personality do you think they would have?
What kind of personality? Let's see. The first person that came into my mind was Boos. I kind of, you kind of see some kid, they kind of look like your standard average person, and then when you watch them play, they're just going ham. They have all this tech, they have all this flavor and style in their play, right? I kind of feel like that's what the Varmilo Kasai is, because you look at it and you're like, oh, it's a cute stick, it's small, it has the 8 buttons, actually it has additional buttons, so it's 10 buttons. 8. Actually, it's 11 buttons, which makes it a little bit more special, but the tech that goes behind the buttons and the convenience that it has built into it makes it really, really cool. So I don't want to talk too much into it. I'll probably make it its own video.
What was your first impression when you got your Varmilo Arcade stick for the first time?
Actually, the first time I've seen it was at EVO Japan. It was on display, and I was like, wow, because they had the blue one, they had the pink one, and I have the silver one. But the blue and pink one have these graphics on them. And I was like, wow, this stick is so cool, and it's so small. What is it? So it's really, really cool that months later, I get sponsored by them, and I have my own now. So I think it's a really, really cool stick. I love the buttons. I love the system. I'll show it to you guys later. You can go check out the website if you guys want to, but it is a really special, unique system that other buttons don't have.
How would you introduce Varmilo to a friend who doesn't play games?
for anybody that doesn't play fighting games and they want to start playing fighting games with the fight stick or even leverless, because they do have leverless, I think the Varmilo ones are really nice because the price point I think is like the biggest thing for everyone, and it's not that crazy. They have like $150 version, they have a $250 version, and you get a lot in the package that comes with it. So definitely a great starter stick.
If you could ask another FGC person 35 questions, who would it be?
Someone else I would have this interview with, probably Punk. First person that came into my mind was Justin, but I feel like Justin has done so many of these interviews, so he probably doesn't need another one, but obviously it'd be cool if he does one. But Punk, I think, is really, really cool. He and I both grew up in Philly, not together, definitely an age gap there, but he's from Philly. I think Philly, I was gonna say breed, that sounds terrible, but the best type of people come from Philly, and they have really, really cool background stories, and Punk has accomplished so much at such a young age. I think it'd be really cool if he had this type of interview.
Lastly, say a few words to the fans watching this video.
Thank you guys for all the support. I mean, I've been in this FGC for almost 17 years now, and I know a lot of you guys have been there for me from the beginning, so I really, really appreciate that support, and especially everyone new that's come along the way. Any positivity that I take from you guys, you know, it helps me get through all the stuff that I go through in my life. So thank you guys, I appreciate it.
All right, Sherry. Thank you very much. That is all.
Bye, thank you guys.